Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. We're happy that you're able to join us today. Our webinar's topic is about how SpinFX IT's Easy Document solution can help your team create and distribute benefits related documents faster, better, and easier. While Easy Documents can be used for creating payroll and recruiting documents as well, our focus for today's webinar is all about benefits first. Liana will be leading the session today. She'll give you an overview of Easy Documents and how it works with our flagship solution, Easy Reporter, and we will show you Easy Documents in action as well through some demos. Now, before we begin, I just flash these reminders. Those who are just dialing in and on audio, we encourage you to use the GoToWebinar app or view the webinar in your browser so you won't miss any of the slides that Liana will be showing and so you won't miss the demos as well. If you have any questions during the session, just type it in the questions box and we'll email you back the soonest possible. If you have any additional questions even after the webinar, please send it to info@spinfxit.com and one of our team members will reach out to you shortly. We'll post a recording of the session in our customer care portal so you can have access to it anytime after this run. Now, if you're a SpinFX IT customer who's not yet a member of our customer care portal, I encourage you to sign up today for free to get easy access to our documentation and knowledge base, and to be able to view our on-demand webinars as well and have easy access to our support team where you can submit your tickets for your inquiries and requests. I will now hand you over to Liana, who will take it from here.
Thank you, Vanessa. Hello, everyone. I'm Leanna Stetler, a solutions engineer here at SpinFX IT, and it's my pleasure today to show you how Easy Documents can assist your benefits department with a great solution for preparing and distributing documents to employees throughout the year. As you will see during the session, Easy Documents isn't just for employee benefits, but it is also fantastic for creating both employee and manager-based documents that pretty much encompasses all SAP HR and payroll sources, including Employee Central out of SuccessFactors. But today, our main focus will be on benefit-related employee correspondence. Easy Documents is a dynamic solution that uses data from across your SAP HCM landscape and SuccessFactors Employee Central to produce employee documents, letters, and forms available to users in real time. You may already be familiar with the reporting capabilities of Easy Reporter, and it's easy to see why it's the best solution for SAP HCM reporting. Another area that has challenged HR and payroll professionals is the ability to do even more with their HR data and payroll data. That's where Easy Documents comes in. Easy Documents is an add-on to Easy Reporter, which is designed to help the non-technical payroll and HR teams build and distribute documents for their employees and management teams. Just for those that aren't familiar with Easy Reporter, let me first set the stage by briefly explaining what I consider to be our flagship solution here at SpinFX IT, and then we'll jump right into Easy Documents, then on to the demo to show a few examples that I've prepared for this presentation. If you're familiar with trying to build reports directly in SAP, you already know how difficult it can be, especially when it comes to combining data from different HCM modules into one report. It's typical, unless it's a very basic report not crossing HCM modules, that you have to resort to dumping the data out of SAP into another tool like Excel to get to your final results. And whether the data is fed into a document or not, you still have to deal with the distribution of the report or document. Not to mention, if it's a repeatable report or document, many of these steps have to be repeated time and time again, whether it be daily, by pay period, monthly, etc. What we can accomplish with Easy Reporter, which then flows into Easy Documents, is the ability to pull data from all of the HCM modules, including transactional payroll data, like benefit wage type results, and produce a single report. Just a quick little story. Before coming to SpinFX IT, I worked for a Michigan-based company that implemented SAP back in 2002. One of my main roles after Go Live was to support the HR and payroll departments with configuration, functional support, and building report documents. The most time-consuming part of my job was getting HR and payroll data out of SAP for reporting purposes, which was usually quite a chore. Move ahead to 2012 when I attended an SAP conference and sat in on a session for HR reporting by Spinifex IT. I left the conference and went straight back to the office, determined to get both Easy Reporter and Easy Documents in-house. A few months later, the best part of my job was building reports and documents. It was rather fun. Not only that, it freed up quite a bit of my time to work on other projects that I was tasked with. And now here I am, helping spread the word to others. I'm going to get into the system in just a few minutes, but wanted to include this slide. It's a great visual to show how impressive the capabilities are with Easy Reporter. This shows all of the data sources that we can report on, along with providing some pre-delivered reports and documents for use. And if you have any custom info types or fields, those can be included as well. A few things that aren't mentioned here is some of the added functionality available, such as using calculation fields, mapping fields, column and report filters, just to name a few. This additional functionality is key to keeping the data inside of SAP and making sure all reports and documents contain real-time information. Okay, let's get to Easy Documents now. If you're currently gathering data from SAP or Employee Central to produce your employee documents, this process probably looks familiar. The key points I want to make here are that these steps are typically repeated each time you need to produce your documents, and you have to pull the data outside of the system in order to accomplish this process. Easy Documents simplifies document generation and distribution. A few key features that I want to drive home here. One of the best features, in my opinion, is the content filtering that is available with our documents, making Easy Documents smart. What does that mean? It means you only need to have one document template for different scenarios. For example, you need to provide a letter to your employees about their benefits. Like most companies, the benefits that employees receive are based on their employment status. For instance, full-time versus part-time, or union versus non-union. I have an example of that today that highlights this capability. Also, we have multiple distribution options. One of the most popular is to have documents available in your employee self-service system for employees to run themselves. This might be handy for employees that need company letters showing proof of insurance coverage, a certificate of employment, or a total compensation statement. I'll cover that today as well. Another distribution option is via email that automatically is sent to an employee when certain actions occur. I'll go back to my example of notifying employees on their benefits. Maybe you enter new hires on a weekly basis. You can set up a reoccurring background job to automatically distribute letters to your employees that were hired over the past 7 days. No more repeatable processing. Here's a few use cases for documents that our customers use Easy Documents for. This list definitely doesn't cover everything, but it should give you an idea of what the possibilities are. Okay, just a couple more quick slides before I jump into the system for the actual demonstration. The key point that I want to make clear on these next few slides is that Easy Documents, and Easy Reporter for that matter, are not tools for your IT department. They're designed for your HR and payroll professionals to easily create documents and reports without the need to have technical or programming knowledge, hence the easy part of the name. There are 3 main steps to creating the document. As I already mentioned, your first step is to have the data output into an Easy Reporter report. Simply stated, if you can get the data in a report, it will be available for output in a document. The second step is to format the letter in Easy Documents and add placeholders for the data that you want in the document. Think of Easy Documents as a glorified mail merge. But you only have to do it once, and you can usually eliminate multiple templates that you are currently using into one template covering different scenarios that I touched on a few slides ago. Finally, you determine how you want to distribute the documents. We're going to focus on employee-based letters today, but you can also create and distribute management documents using the same steps. Excuse me. You can even get fancy with different types of charts for a more visual display of information like headcount reports showing the percentage of employee paid benefits to employees in a total compensation statement. Here's just a few examples for you. I hadn't mentioned it earlier, but you can even scan in a form to be used. Say, for instance, a service award certificate is shown here, or a government form like a W-4. Last slide, I promise. We automatically deliver a web reporting interface with Easy Reporter and Easy Documents, which allows employees and managers access to the reports and documents that you choose to make available to them. And if you are using SuccessFactors, you will also have the ability to add tiles to the home page to do the same thing. And our solutions respect the SAP authorization rules assigned to end users, so you can rest assured that they can only view information that they are approved to access. Okay, let me switch over now to our demo system to demonstrate what I'm talking about. So here in SAP, this is where you access Easy Reporter and Easy Documents. You access by transaction code /bin/ER. I have it saved as a favorite. All we need to do is double click on this, and it takes us to the Easy Reporter /Easy Documents landing page. I already have, so here we are at the landing page, and here are my folders where I have my reports stored. And you can see different reports and folders within. I already have a couple more sessions set up or created that are pointed directly to the documents that I want to show. So let's go directly there. The first document that I want to show you is a benefit enrollment confirmation. So let me go ahead and double click on the document itself. I'll select the variant that I already set up, so I don't have to put in the report data period or the select employees, which for this presentation makes it go a little faster. And we just go over here to run document and actually generate. What this is going to do is it's going to produce my document. Here I have the ability to save, print. I can zoom in and out. But the content of this, we have the company logo, today's date, we have the body of the letter, to whom it may concern, formatting, we have a few things highlighted, and then we're pulling in the employee name, their employee class, participant effective date, the plan that they're enrolled in, the level of coverage. We even have their premium amount. And then down near the bottom, we list out all of their covered dependents and some of their personal information, and then a closing statement with a signature. So with this, you could easily create this document, generate this document, and provide it to the employee via email, or just print it out as a hard copy and hand it to them. But I want to use this as an example to show you how you can have this available to them within the web reporting tool. You can access our web reporting tool through a URL or directly from a transaction code within SAP, which is what I'm going to do here. It's going to ask me for my SAP credentials. We'll pull up web reporting, and then you'll see that we've got multiple tiles here that we have built in. These are completely company definable. I'm going to go into the employee self-service. I've got some choices here. I'm going to go to the document section, and then you can see my health insurance coverage confirmation here. I'll take just a moment to load. Here we go. So now we have our document here. And now this is something that the employee would pull up themselves on demand. And then from here, they can come in here and they can save the document to a file, or they can print the document. So it's completely up to them what they want to do with the document once they pull the information for themselves. Okay. So now on to the next document that I want to show you. This one has to do with our ability to pull in data that resides outside of SAP into a document. I'm going to show you an example of a letter for profit sharing for employees, where it's going to show the amount the employee is entitled to for the 2008 calendar year. The first thing we need to do in order to accomplish this is we need to have that information in a file, such as the one I have here in Excel, from a third-party vendor, or if it's something that you just create out of the system at the company level, whatever the case may be. The first column has the employee ID number, the PERNUM. You do need a unique field for the employee in order to pull it into the report that then feeds the document. Column B is the evaluation date that will also pull into the document. C is the company profit, D is the employee portion of the profit sharing. Okay, so once you have that in there, it needs to be saved as a tab delimited text file, which looks like this. And then you just have to save that. You can have it saved on the SAP application server, or you can have it saved on your PC. So once that is done, you just have to go into your report that feeds the document. We'll go into maintenance mode so I can show you this. We're going to navigate, once this comes up, we're going to navigate to tab 5. And in tab 5, we've got a data import options. And then in here, we just say, okay, we want to pull in this tab delimited file that is stored in the temp directory. And then we have advanced import options so that we can map those 4 columns to the fields within the report where they belong. So we've got column 1, which was the employee number, to the employee number, 2 to the evaluation date, and then the 2 dollar amounts in the appropriate column. And that's all it takes. Once that is there, then we have, let's find it. Hold on just a minute. Okay, we'll go this way. I thought I had another session open. I had the document ready to go. We'll just exit this and go into the document here. Okay, here's my document. We'll double click, select my variant, and then run. And what you will see is a per employee document. Let me make this larger. That again has a company logo, which can be placed wherever you want to on the document. You can have it left aligned versus right aligned, or directly in the center. It's got the date, information about the employee, and then we've got this table that is showing the evaluation date of 12/31, the yearly profit for the company, and then what their portion is. You can see we've got some formatting going on here where we have some of the verbiage highlighted in red and bold, and then we've got a signature at the bottom. So that covers importing information, and then this, of course, could also be available in the employee self-service, or it could be something that could be distributed via email to the employees. Now, on to the last example that I want to show you. I want to show you the new employee benefits enrollment. And I'm going to show you a few different things here as far as content filtering and distribution. The first thing I want to do is just run it so you can see it. So we'll generate the document. It's asking me if I want to run and show output only to screen, or run and produce outputs, because I have this one set up to automatically email out. At this point, I just want to run document so we show it on the screen before we actually go into it. So you can see here, if I do this drop down, I've selected 2 employees. So we can see that there's 2 employees here. We have Michael and we have Richard. The first one that's displayed is Michael's. And it starts out by saying, we are excited to offer you benefits with Spinifex IT. Then it goes on in the next paragraph to say benefits enrollment for new part-time employees. And then it continues on with health plan options. And then it closes with a paragraph for individual questions. Okay, so keep that in mind as we navigate to the next one, which is for Richard. Okay, so here's the letter for Richard that he's going to receive. It has the same opening statement, but then here, notice that this says benefits enrollment for new full-time employees. So it's got a different different content here in the document itself. Excuse me. It goes on to talk about the health plan options, but because they're full-time, this employee is also eligible for FSA, retired 401k, company paid holiday, etc. So that information shows up on their document, but doesn't show up on the document for the part-time employee. How do we do this? Let's go in and I will quickly show you. So we're going to go into maintenance mode for the document. We're going to go into document setup. And then when we go into the content for the body of the letter, we've got the section for full-time employees. And what we've done, we have filter criteria available to us. You can use any criteria that you want. We're using capacity utilization level. It could be a combination of your employee group and subgroup from info type 1 or anything else that you use to differentiate between the two. But we're saying if the capacity utilization level is equal to 1,000, include this content. Then for the part-time, you would imagine that this one says the same field. It's basing it on the capacity utilization level, and it's including if the value is less than 100. And then just to take it one step further, on the health benefits, we do not have a filter criteria set up because they both see this content. So that's how we do that, which is pretty cool. That's how you're able to create one template for different scenarios so that if you ever need to make change, you're only touching one document. You don't have multiples out there that you have to go in and maintain. So that's a pretty cool feature. Now, the other thing that I want to show you before we actually kick this off is our output options. This is where you go in and you set it up for email distribution. You've got some options here. We're going to do automated email distribution where it is looking at the employee's internet email, which is based on their info type 105 record. So it will automatically pull from there. You can send a copy if you wanted to. If appropriate, you could have a copy go to the employee's manager, which will pull from the manager's info type 105 record. It can go to a position's internet email. So you could maybe say, okay, I want the manager of this specific org unit to always get it, so that if somebody leaves that position and somebody new goes into that position, that it will automatically go to the new person. So that functionality is there as well. You've got a couple other options here as far as you can define the email distribution for the document, or we have some predefined distributions that could be set up as well. Once that is in place, you go over to the email settings. For the email itself, you give it a subject, and then you give it the email text as far as the content. You indicate the file name for the attachment. And then what I did here to show you additional content filtering, you can actually attach other documents to that email. For this letter, I also want to include a brochure that talks about their options for their healthcare coverage. So we've got a brochure here that we're including with the email itself. Then we've got a holiday calendar as well to show the holidays, and that's only applicable in this case for the full-time employees. So we have a filter set up on this one to only be included when the capacity utilization level is equal to 100. Okay, pretty cool. Now we go over to run report, and say for instance this is one that it's for new employees or newly eligible employees. You want to set it up to run either on a daily basis, you want to set it up to run on a weekly basis, pay period, etc. This is where you can go in and you can schedule this to run in the background. We have been doing the generate document just to generate it on the screen, but now we're going to go into generate document in background. Oh, whoops, there's one thing that I wanted to do first. Because we're going to do this like every 7 days and we want to look back every 7 days, let's go to the report data period tab. This is where you set the date period of when you want this report to run for, or document to run for, I should say. In this instance, we're going to go into alternative dates and select current date reference, and we want to go back 7 days up until today. So what this does, it allows us, or allows the system to go back and look at anybody that was newly eligible or newly hired in the past 7 days and produce documents for those individuals. Okay, so now let's go back over to run the document. Go over to generate document and background. We want to run document and produce output. Continue forward. We're going to give it a name. Continue. And we'll continue through this screen. We're going to define start and end time. We'll continue. It'll pop up and ask us when we want to do this. Let's say I want to do this a couple days from now. And we want to make it a periodic job. Hit continue. It's going to ask us how often we want it to run. Hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. If it's none of the above, there's other choices where you can do it based on a number of months, weeks, days, hours, even down to a minute. But we'll select weekly. You continue, and then all you need to do is hit complete. So in 2 days, this job will kick off for the first time. It will go back and pick up anybody who's newly eligible or newly hired, depending on the criteria that you put in the report, I should say, to feed the document, and generate those letters and email them to the employees. So I've already gone ahead and generated those emails just so we didn't have to wait for them. And I've got them here in my email. What I did to get them in on my email is on both of those employees, on Michael and Richard's records on their info type 105, I put my email address in those info types. So here we go. We've got two. The first one has the benefit enrollment document, the health coverage, and the holiday calendar, and one only has the benefit enrollment and health coverage. So I'm assuming that this one is for the part-time employee. Let's go into the first one, and we see the documents here. Let's download and look at the benefit enrollment letter. Here's our letter for the full-time employee. It has all the content that we want our full employee to receive. Then we can go into the brochure, and it shows our brochure for our health coverage and what their options are, what their benefits will be. And then we've got the holiday calendar. So there we go. Go back. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the process of opening up the one for the part-time employee. I think you get the idea. Okay. Okay, so with that said, I believe I've covered all of the content that I wanted to show you today. It was definitely quite a bit of information. I provided you a very brief overview of Easy Reporter to help you understand how it feeds the data into Easy Documents, discussed Easy Document functionality, and how you can leverage the solution to allow your team to work smarter and not harder by taking advantage of the tools to eliminate repeatable processes and streamline distribution. And I took you into the solution to give you a peek behind the curtain to show you how easy it will be for your team to build and distribute documents on their own. With that said, I'm going to hand control back over to Vanessa. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Leanna. That was very, very rich. So, we've given an overview of Easy Documents and a sneak peek of how it works. If you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at info@spinifexit.com. And in case you missed any of the slides and the demos that Leanna shared earlier, don't worry. We'll get this posted very soon in our customer care portal. So you have to register today or before we post it, at least. So thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. We'd like to know how we can share more information about our solutions better. So please let us know your thoughts by completing the survey towards the end of the webinar. So hang in there for a minute or two and have a great rest of the day. Bye.
We are inviting you to join us in Australia at the Mastering SAP HR conference in Sydney on the 19th to the 20th of March. Alternatively, if you're in North America, you can join us at the HR Innovations Conference in Las Vegas on the 19th to the 21st of March. We hope to see you at one of these events.